Okay, so my screen is visible. My screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first of all, I'll give you the description of your task 2. Okay, which is simple data manipulation with pandas. Okay. So description is the intern will explore basic data analysis using the pandas library in Python. Okay, and your responsibility is to learn how to read CSV file and manipulate data frame using pandas, and you have to perform simple data cleaning tasks such as handling missing values and removing duplicates. Okay, you have to perform the basic data manipulation operations. Okay, so this is your description of your task too. So now I'm going to share my Jupyter screen. This is my Jupyter screen. Okay, so here is your code. So basically, first in this, we will import our library. Okay, which library? Pandas library. We're going to import in our Jupyter notebook. Okay, so here is your syntax, which is import pandas as PD. Okay, in pandas library, there are many inbuilt functions like for seeing the data types of columns or by seeing the read and write. Okay, see, these all are the inbuilt in the pandas. Okay, so we have to first import the pandas library SPD. Then we have to load a CSV file. Your second task is to load a CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so how to load a CSV file? First of all, you have to make a new variable name. So here I have taken data. Okay, you can take any variable name. Then equals to, then you have to use equal sign. Okay, so in this task, you have to first import the pandas library. Here is your syntax, which is import pandas as PD. Okay, then you have to load a CSV file. Your second task is to load a CSV file. So how to load a CSV file? You have to first assign the variable name. Here I have taken data. Then equals to pd.read underscore CSV. This function you have to use, which is pd.read underscore CSV. Okay. Then in the parenthesis, this is your parenthesis. In the parenthesis and between the inverted commas, okay, you have to copy this location part. So how to copy this location part, I'll tell you. First of all, you have to go on your desktop. Okay, you have to go on the downloads part where your file is. Okay, where your CSV file is. So my file is here. See, data cleaning and pre-processing. This is my file. So first of all, I am going to show you this file. See, this is a very big data file. Okay, and these are the columns it containing, which is observation, Y, kappa, chip rate, VFCM, so on. Okay, so this is your file. Now what we have to do, we have to click right on your file and we have to go on properties, this properties part. Okay, then this kind of page will occur after clicking the properties button. Okay, so in this you have to first copy this location part. Okay, this location part you have to copy and you have to paste it here. This is your location part. Okay, then you have to add double slashes in between. Here you, in the end of downloads you have to add the double slash. Okay, here is your double slash. Then in between two there is only single slash. You have to use double slashes here. Okay, double slashes. So you have to use double slashes in between. Then after copying this location part and after pasting it, you have to copy this title part. Okay, which is this 01 dot data cleaning and pre-processing. So you have to copy this and you have to paste it here. Here. Okay, here. Okay, so this is your title part. Okay, then in the end you have to write .csv. Don't forget to add this .csv because this is your CSV formatted file, which is comma separated file. Okay, so this is your syntax how to load a CSV file. I'm repeating again. You have to use the pd.read underscore CSV function. Then inside the parenthesis and in between the inverted commas, you have to copy the location of your file. Okay, this is your location and you have to use double slashes in between. Then you have to copy this title part and you have to paste it here. Then in the end you have to write .csv. Okay, .csv, this type of file, because your type of file is .csv, so you have to use .csv here. Okay, so this is how you can import a file into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so now we'll use some of the functions for just analyze our variables, okay, and columns. Okay, so here first function is type, and in bracket we have called the data variable. Okay, okay, so this is your first function. Here we check the type of your imported data set. So your imported data set type is pandas.core.frame.data frame. Okay, so this is your type of your data. Now here comes the another function, which is the info function. Okay, so you have to use the info function for for checking the concise summary of your data set. Basically, concise summary tells you that how many columns are there, okay, how many columns are there, and it's how many rows and columns are there, and its column name, all column names, and some of the rows. Okay, so it will show you the concise summary basically. So these are all the columns and these are the top 5 and bottom 5 rows. Okay, so it will show you concise summary, compact summary, and there are 324 rows and 23 columns are there. Okay, so this is your info function. Now we'll use the describe function. Okay, describe function will tell you the descriptive statistics of your data set. Okay, it will tell you the descriptive statistics of your data set, like what is the mean of the y kappa column, what is the mean of the ship rate column, what is the mean of the count, what is the count of the y kappa column, like so on. It will give you these descriptive value of each column. Okay, of each column it will give you. So it will show you the descriptive statistics basically. Now till here what we have did, we have first import the pandas library. Okay, so we have first load the pandas library. This is our syntax. Then we have load the CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. Then we use some of the function. First is type of the data. Second is info function for seeing the concise summary. And third comes the describe function, which tells you the descriptive statistics of your data set. Okay, so we have used some of the functions for analyze our data set. Now our task is to drop the duplicate rows. Okay, so now our task is to drop the duplicate rows. So how to drop the duplicate rows? You have to use drop underscore duplicates function. Okay, after using this function, your all duplicate rows, you know the meaning of duplicate, like one value is occurring more than one time, this means the duplicate. Okay, so you have to remove that rows, duplicate rows. So after using this function, all the duplicate rows is removed from our data set. So here you will see there were total 324 rows before. Now your rows is 301, means your duplicated rows are removed from your data set. Okay, so yes, we have to clean our data set now, and first task we are doing is we are dropping the duplicate rows. Okay, first cleaning process is to dropping the duplicate rows. Now comes the another function, which is null function. So basically is null function will give you the answer whether there are null values present in your data set or not. Okay, so what is null value first? Null value is basically the empty value or the empty space in your column. Okay, see here is your data set. Now see here in the separate column at the position of the 299, 300 and 301 row, here is none, means there are null values. There is no value here. Okay, means this is missing value, null value, empty value. Okay, so Israel function will give you answer in the Boolean form. Boolean form means it will give you answer in the true and false. Okay, so if there are null values, then it will show you true, otherwise it will show you false. Okay, so here are the true because here are the null values. Okay, and here all are the false. Okay, now comes the is null dot sum function. So basically this is null dot sum function, this function will sum all the null values of each column and it will give you the result, like how many null values are present in each column. So there are zero null values present in observation and y kappa column. Four null values are there in the chiplet column. 14 null values are there in the BFCM ratio column. Okay, so it will tell you the sum of the null values in the particular column. Okay, so yes, is null dot sum function tell you the sum of the null values in particular column, each column. Okay, now comes the not null function. This is another function. Basically, not null function is just the opposite of the is null function. Okay, it will give you true if your value is not null, and if it will give you false if your value is null. Okay, so it is just the opposite of the is null function. Okay, now we'll see here are the another function which is null dot sum. So here are two sums basically. So basically these two sums will give total null values present in our data set, like by combining all the columns null value. Okay, so there are 352 total null values present in our data set. Total 352 total null values. Okay, so till here what we have did, we have dropped the duplicate rows. Okay, and then we have checked whether there are null values or not by using this function. Okay, and we have used the sum function for seeing how many null values are present in each column. Okay, and non null is the opposite of your is null function. Okay, then what we have did, yes, then we have conclude the total null values. Then we have conclude the total null values present in a data set. Okay, so there are, it is clear that there are null values in our data set. Okay, and there are total 352 null values present in a data set. Okay, now our task is to handle this missing values, these null values. So there are basically three methods for handling these kinds of null values. So first method is this, which is fill any. You have to use fill any function, which is fill null values, and inside the bracket you have to mention the value. Okay, you have to mention the value. So your value equals to 0, it means 0 will be filled in the place of null values. Okay, see here are 0 is filled already. Okay, so this is your first method for filling the null values. Okay, so you can write any integer here that you want to fill in the place of null. So you have to use fill any function, then in bracket you have to use value equals to any integer that you want to fill. It depends on your question. Okay, so here 0 is filled in the place of null values. Now we'll check the how many null values are present in our data set. So here are 0 answer, because there are no null values now present, because all are filled with the 0. So there is no null values present. Okay, so this is your first method for filling the null value. Now we'll learn about the second method, which is method equal pair. You have to write method equal pair. This is your forward filling. Okay, and this is your third method, which is method equal bfill. This is your backward filling. So these are two more methods. I'll tell you what is forward filling and backward filling. So this is your data set. Okay, basic, this is your data set. Okay, original data set. So in forward filling, see my cursor. Okay, in forward filling 15.167 value, this value will forward fill here, here and here. Okay, this is a forward filling. Okay, and in the backward filling, see my cursor, which is at 14.308 value. Okay, then this value in backward filling will come here, here and here. Okay, so this is your backward filling basically. So basically forward filling and backward filling is, forward filling is you have to fill forward, this value you have to fill forward, and in backward filling the next preceding value you have to fill here, here and here. This is your backward and this is your forward. Okay. So this is your second method, which is forward filling. You have to use in the inverted columns pad. Okay. Then this is your forward filling. This value is here and here, here. Okay. This is your second method for filling the null values. This is your second method. Now third method, which is your backward filling. You have to use method B fill. Okay. Then your value, this is here, here and here. Okay. So this is your third method for filling the null values. Okay. So now till here we have found, see till here we have found that there are total 352 null values. Now we have to handle our null values. So this is our first method for filling the null values. You have to mention any value, integer number, then this number will place in the place of null values. Okay, this is your first method and this is your second method, which is forward filling. You have to use method pad. Okay, forward filling, and this is your third method, which is backward filling. You have to use bfill method, and this is a backward filling. Okay, so now till here we have handled our null values. Okay, missing values. So now what we going to be do, we will transform our data set more. Okay, it means we will clean our data set more. Okay, so this is the little advanced way I'm going to tell you. Okay, this is not in your task, but I'm going to teach you. Okay, so this is a little more advanced way for transforming your data set by cleaning it more. So for it, we have to first import the necessary libraries. Here I am importing the NumPy library as NP. Okay, so NumPy libraries. Okay, so NumPy library. See, those who joined late, I am going to tell you that this is the 25th June class. Okay, this is the 25th June batch class. If you are not in this batch, then you can leave. Okay, and also I am requesting everyone to please join sharp at that time. I just wait for more than 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will not admit anyone. Okay. Yes. So now comes the more transforming way, which is now we'll clean our data set more. So for this, we have to import the necessary library. First library I'm importing, which is import numpy as np. Okay, so numpy as np I have imported. This library will handle the numeric data. Okay, this numeric data, it will handle. So for this, for handling this numeric integer data, we have to import the numpy library. Now second library is from SkyPy import stats. Okay, so SkyPy is another cool library in which there are many inbuilt functions that are statistics, stats, regression, and many more. Okay, so we have to import these libraries for it. Now what we going to do, we will detect the outliers using IQR method. So first of all, what is outliers? Okay, see, basically outliers are the unwanted data that we don't want in our data set. Okay, so outlier is the unwanted data. For example, just consider here is your scatter plot. This is your y-axis of your scatter plot and this is your x-axis of your scatter plot. Scatter plot is some dot representation. Okay, so here are all the dot representation, but you'll see here are if you will see here are one dot and here are two this. Okay, so these are your outliers because this is very deviated from your original data, right? This is a very deviated, this is very unwanted, it can alter the accuracy of your data set. So we have to handle this outlier, we have to remove this outlier. This is termed as the outlier. So by removing the outlier, we have to use the IQR method. IQR method is the interquartile range. Its full form is the interquartile range. It IQR will give you the particular range. Okay, and your data should be in that range only. Otherwise, it will be considered as outlier and it will be going to remove from your data set by using the IQR method. Okay. Also, The IQR method only applies to the numeric data, only the numeric data. Okay, so here you will see the observation column containing some date time format. So IQR method is not applicable for this column. So we have to remove this column for doing the IQR method. So here you can drop the observation column. This is your syntax. You have to use dot drop function for it, and inside the parenthesis you have to mention your column that you want to drop. Okay, then here is x is equal 1. Okay, here is x is equal 1 means you are applying in the columns part. Okay, you are dropping the column. So if here x is equal 0 means you are applying in the rows part. Here x is equal 1 means you are applying in the column part. And here you have to do in place equal true. You have to do in place equal true because you are committing the changes. For permanently deleting this column, okay, you have to do in place equal to. Okay, so now you will see the column name, your observation column is deleted. Okay, now we'll use the IQR method. So IQR formula is this, which is Q1 data2 dot quantile 0.25, Q3 data2 dot quantile 0.75, and IQR is Q3 minus Q1. And this is your IQR range of each column. Y kappa IQR is this, chip rate, sorry, chip rate, IQR is this, BSCM ratio, IQR is this. Okay, so this IQR tells you that your data should be in between 25th percentile and between 75th percentile. Okay, your data should be in between 25th to 75th percentile. Okay, so otherwise, if your data is below or above this range, it will be removed from your data set because that is your outlier. Okay, so this is your IQR. Now this is your proper formula for IQR, which will give you the answer, which says if your data is less than this formula, which is Q1 minus 1.5 into IQR. 1.5 into IQR is a boundary level. Okay, boundary level. And if your data 2 is less than this formula, and if your data 2 is greater than this formula, it will be considered as outlier, and that will be deleted permanently from your data set. Okay, and here we have used dot any function which check that this formula will apply on the appropriate values, not in all values. Okay, and here x is equal 1 means you are doing in the particular column. So here x is equal 1. So yes, by using this formula, here is your clean data set, proper clean data set. Okay, here there is no duplicate rows, there are no null values, and there are no outliers. So this is your proper clean data set, and this is your descriptive statistics of your proper clean data set. Okay, now the mean of the y kappa column is this, chip rate is this, and count of y kappa column is this, and chip rate is this. So this is the descriptive statistics of your proper clean data set. Okay, so I'm again tell you the more transforming part, which is you have to first import the necessary libraries numpy, scalpy. Then you have to detect the outlier. Outlier is the unwanted data that we don't want in our data set. And for finding the outlier, here are the method, which is IQR. IQR is the interquartile range. It will give you the proper range. Your data should be in between this range, otherwise it will be removed from your data set. Okay, and IQR only works in the numeric data, so you have to remove the unnecessary column, which is this date time format. So here you can drop the any columns. So this is your IQR formula, okay, which is Q3 minus Q1. This is your IQR of each column, and this is your formula. It tells you if your data is below this range or above this range, then it will going to be removed from your data set because that is outlier. Okay, so this is your clean data set, and this is your descriptive statistics of your clean data set. So I hope till now all things are clear. What you have to do, you have to first import the panda library, then you have to load a csv file, then you have to use some of the function, which is type, info function, and describe function for checking, for analyze your variables. Then you have to drop the duplicate rows, and you have to check whether there are null values or not. Okay, and if there are null values, then you have to handle it by using any of the three methods. First method is this, value equals 0. Second method is this, forward filling. Third method is this, backward filling. And then you have to transform your data set more. You have to clean more by detecting the outlier using I.